So welcome back, guys. This is the Blended Roast, and I have my beautiful mom.
Good morning, buenos días a todos.
And today we have a very exciting guest, Amy. We've known Amy for like how long?
No, jalón, Amy. Es mucho tiempo.
Yo estaba in high school, so I was 18, 17, 18.
Wow.
She was a
Sí,
baby.
cuando yo lo conocí a ustedes, yo estaba en mis últimos años de high school, so I was 18.
Wow.
And now I'm 40.
Wow. Pero tú te ves
Ah,
bellísima.
yo iba a decir
No
que
parece
Gracias,
no.
igual. Thank you, thank
Sí.
you.
We've known her for a really long time. She's been part of our family for a really long time. But I want to actually, I didn't get a chance to ask you, what's the name of your daycare? Because Amy is a full-time daycare owner, right? You have your own daycare, and then you also have your dance studio at night. So during the day, you have your daycare at home. Is it at home based?
Yeah, it's a home-based center. Yeah, the company's
so-
called Boogaloo Kids.
And is it like a Monday through Friday?
Yeah, we open at 7 a.m. and we close at 5:30. So it's all day.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's awesome. And mommy, I know you
Yeah.
have experience with
Yeah.
that. So how many kids do you have?
Currently, we have enrolled 6, so there's a limit depending on the youngest child. So we have 6 currently enrolled. Yeah, but I have
That's
part timers too. But yeah, it's a 6-child regimen. That's funny that you mentioned your mom worked with kids because when I was younger and I first met you guys, I remember having conversations with your mom about her job. ¿Tú no te recuerdas, Ana, que muchas veces hablamos de eso? De tu trabajo, con la familia que trabajaba.
Sí, no, sí, yo sigo en eso, pero yo siempre he trabajado 1 o 2 niños, para mí, bueno, trabajé una vez con una familia en Arlington, Virginia, que tienen 6 niñas, bueno, ya con college, bueno, ya terminaron la universidad, ya todo eso, pero siempre he trabajado así, con 2, 1, con
Yeah,
familia.
private.
Exacto.
Yeah.
So,
It goes
no.
to show you la influencia, right? Because I mean, this is such a tangent, but I was raised with a lot of kids and I crossed paths with your mom. And one of the conversations I do remember was her speaking about working with children. And, everybody always knew I like kids. So now to professionally speak on it years later, I went to college for it and stuff. And, yeah, I work with children. Yep.
That's interesting.
Big group of
that's
them.
awesome.
Yeah, pero como yo me acuerdo de ti, Emi, es bailando. Siempre bailando, tu coreografía y todo eso, wow, bellísimo. Todo era un
Gracias.
talento increíble. Siempre.
Muchas gracias.
Bueno,
Sabes
And
que
I
muchas veces en la carrera artística, people have assumed that I was a full-time dancer my whole career. So
sí,
nobody's ever known that I simultaneously always had a full-time job. And along the years, people would ask me like, "Oh, you work?" And I'm like, "Yes, I work like all day, and then I go to the studio." So yeah, most people identify with me most through the dancing. This is like the daycare is my security, So
sí.
I feel like I remember, I mean, and I think my cousin talks about it all the time, and we like when we bring it up, how she says that me and Trish were because Trish loves dance. Trish always loved dancing, and she said that I remember like meeting you, and I don't know why when you walked into the door, I don't know if the sun was out or something, but I swear there was like a beam of light, and I was like,
Aww.
wow, she's so beautiful, mommy. Oh my god, her smile, mommy, she's so nice, mommy. Is she really like this?
You guys
And then
are great.
every
You.
single time I met you, it was the same energy. It was the same ambience. Like it was literally the same all the time. And I would tell my mom, I was like, Mommy, pero she's just so beautiful. Look at the way she moves and like
Thank
everything
you.
about you. Like so I just
You're
feel like
making me blush. I don't know if it's transferring through here.
no, but
No, pero es verdad.
it's true.
You never
And
know.
I feel like
To me, you guys were family. Like, I grew up in a really large family too, but we gathered on holidays or if somebody threw a house party randomly. Pero con ustedes, you guys always got together on a regular basis, so it felt like family.
every
You know what I mean?
weekend.
Todavía, Emi. Cuando
Oh,
nos
yo
juntamos,
sé. Sí, por eso yo me quedo atento. Ustedes están en party siempre. No,
Every
you guys
weekend.
have the good party. It's food and family. That's the best.
Sí, sí, that's the best. Like, be together con la familia es lo mejor.
Yep.
Sí, aquí en Florida no tengo mucha familia. So yo he construido mi familia aquí. So,
Qué
Wow.
lindo.
and it's good. It's nice because even this year, or starting last year, I started doing things. Since my mom passed, I started doing Friendsgiving in my house. And it's been like reviving that feeling again. And then this year was the first time I did Hice las Navidades. And I mean, it's always 60 to 80 people. It's crazy.
Wow.
But it reminds me of my family because in mi familia, cuando ellos se reúnen, son como 60 personas allá. And up north in Maryland, there's like 60 of them. It's crazy.
Wow.
So here, like I done it with my dance company, and it's really nice.
Wow.
That's
That's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So we already introduced you, but I want to tell everybody, yeah, that she is a powerhouse mom
Thank you.
of two little ones, under two, director and full-time of her own daycare, and the visionary right behind her beautiful dance studio, Kura Dance Company. By night. So Amy, your journey is about perseverance, how you have that passion. And I also want
Mhm.
viewers and everyone to understand that this really is about your message, I think, to parents that are still chasing their dreams against all their odds, all, you know, the negativity,
Mhm.
because you get that so much, especially nowadays. I feel like you either get like a really good group of people that are supporting you, and then you can have people that are just bashing you, right, nonstop, or like,
Yeah,
oh, who does she think she
absolutely.
is? She's a mom, she can't do
Mhm.
this. And it makes you feel like, wait a second, like only because I'm a mom, it doesn't mean it changes everything. It doesn't mean that it's going to, you know, change the way your dreams and your visions, you know, it may have to, you may have to adjust to it, right? You may have to,
Oh yeah,
maybe,
absolutely.
right, maybe you can't do certain things, or your schedule has to be a little bit different because now you have the kids around, so you have to wait until maybe they go to sleep, and you know, maybe you
You're
have to
constantly
like,
adjusting.
yeah, you're constantly adjusting.
Yeah,
So
adjustment's the best word I would say. I'm sorry to cut you off, but when you said
no, no,
it
no,
triggered, right? And that
yes.
is to me, I think adjustment. There's constant adjustments. Like my second one now is 5 months, and just getting onto this Zoom chat, I'm making
Oh,
adjustments. You know, I'm
oh, you
making.
don't need
Sí,
a
el chiquito
nanny.
tiene 5 meses.
Need a nanny. I'm going to get
Mommy,
you.
Jesus.
Vente para acá, muchacha. Vente para acá.
Oh my God.
Oh my
But yeah,
goodness.
el chiquito tiene 5 meses, and the other one is going to be 2 in February. So I have two under two, but it's constant adjustments. And you know, the other day I had to like get corrected because I think my example can. I have people that say, "Oh, you make it look easy," right? But there's a lot of not easy parts that happen. But I'm so determined that I don't. You know, for so many years, people told me, "Oh, a ti se te va a quitar la bailadera when you have kids." Oh, you should have kids so you could settle down. You know, like so many stigmatisms behind it that I was like, oh, the day I have kids, I'm throwing them on my back and they gotta go, you know? And it's the passion for dance, but it's also, I think, being stubborn against people already pre depicting my life, right? So telling me, oh, porque tú, las cosas se hacen así por medio mundo, a ti te toca también. And for me, I was like, you don't, but that's not me, you know? Like, you don't know, I don't know how I'm going to feel then. But now, being fair to myself, it is not easy. You don't sleep a lot. The management side of both companies happens like at 1 a.m. in the morning. Like there's times where I have to find gaps where it's super quiet so that I can focus. But there's constant adjustments, and that's my point. My 5 month old right now is teething, and the last 2 days have been the days that he felt like he was going to be the singer in the middle of the night and sing for 3 hours straight. And that's like a singing, screaming.
Yeah.
Like, but to me, I have to like think to myself, I'm 40 and getting this opportunity now, you know? And the waiting I've had, because I never got pregnant prior, you know, to become a mom, and how enriched my life is differently right now. So what I'm doing is I'm adjusting. So as soon as he's sleeping, you know how they say sleep when they sleep. I don't do that, but I'm trying to now recognize like I'm probably gonna get burned out if I keep becoming this overachiever. So that's the other word. So as far as adjustment, I think I'm a natural overachiever, um, just by my nature. And I said that to someone this week because their sister has two under two. And I told her, I was like, you know, it's good to be realistic with women and make them understand that that's a different level of commitment. And I don't want people to use my example like, oh, she makes it look easy. It's not easy. But if you overachieve that goal and you make crazy adjustments, like I always have everybody's clothes ready as soon as it's out of the washing machine. because I don't know when I have to grab and go. You know, their bags are always packed. I don't know when I have to grab and go. Like there's just constant adjustments. But yeah, if you're willing and you're flexible, you can do it. It's a huge sacrifice, but it has the best reward. Honestly, like I wouldn't exchange it for anything. I'm still dancing. I still run both of my companies myself, and I have two babies, and they're phenomenal, and they go with me. My little one, the 2-year-old, dances salsa fully. He's already showing interest about being musically inclined. He toca la conga, lo bongo se lo toca también. Like, he has a piano he got for Christmas, and he goes to it, and he just already shows an interest, but not because I push him, but because he's exposed, right? He's behind me. He's doing what I always said. I'm going to put him on my back. Y se le agarra el interés. Vente, vamos a hacer. So él marca el paso básico en salsa fully. In class, when he sees us, he decides to dance when he dances. He's the center of attention. Like he's a big extrovert. You know, and I think he has that confidence that in the future, if he has an interest, at least he finds some type of regimen associated to music, right? So it's what I wanted to do. If I had kids, I wanted them to experience this, because my mom was a musician, but she was at home a musician. So I didn't get to explore the artistic grandness behind being an artist, because she kept it at home. We knew her as a grand artist at home, you know? But I wanted that whatever I did, if I had kids, I wanted them to literally say, wow, I was behind stage with an artist because my mom was on the stage. My mom produced the stage. My mom showed me what a sound check looked like. My mom showed me this. Just because when I got to experience that fulfilled me so much that the work was worth it. Does that make sense? I'm sorry.
That makes
I could
sense.
talk forever, girl.
No, that makes sense. And with you, bringing up your mom and, making that comment, I want to ask you, so just to take it back, right to the beginning, you grew up in a Catholic household, which often comes with its own, sets of values and expectations. So how did your upbringing shape your earlier years, especially as you started to pursue your dance career? How do you feel like that molded you into the woman that you became today? Was it easy? Was it tough?
The good thing is I had a really good relationship with my mom, and she was brutally honest. So she was intimately between her and I as women. At a young age, she used to tell me, I don't want to raise dumb kids. And it was blunt like that. Yo no quiero criar niño estúpido. Like we don't have limits with that. And she was blunt. And I used to be like, Mom, I want to be innocent, But anyways, because she was Catholic, and we're Catholic, she had these certain standards of moral values, and, fearing God was huge. People speak a lot, you don't want your kids to fear God. I wholeheartedly think that kids should, if fear means respect, have at it. You should respect and you should fear God. So I think those things helped me stay in a certain line. Like I can 100% tell you as an artist, I never experienced disrespect from a man, not one. I'm 40. And, they say things about dancers like, oh, dancers must be involved in these things. For me, I can't tell you. I never had a man disrespect me as an artist, and I worked with hundreds of musicians. But I think people tell me, oh, it's because it's the way you present yourself.
You said hundreds of musicians. You want to name a few? You want to tell us like about? Let me know who.
When I say musicians, I'm talking about the crew. Like on the stage, when you see salseros, you got, los timbales, all the trumpets, the congueros. You have anybody and everybody that you see on a stage is the band, right? We're the guys. When we're backstage, that's who I'm with mostly, unless I'm working directly with an artist or someone that I'm close with that's an artist. But that's what I mean about musicians. So anybody who's playing one of the musical instruments, especially behind a salsa composition, there's a lot of people. Like a full salsa band is large. So all those men, imagine I'm back there in salsa clothes. I've never once had one disrespect me or say, or even insinuar, propose, nothing. But when I speak on that, a lot of people tell me, oh, it's because of the way you present yourself. So going back to my upbringing, I think I never have been the type to exert a certain energy because of the way I was raised. I was raised conservatively. My mom used to say, the first time you get in trouble, a ti se te quita el baile. That was what she would say. And I worked in nightclubs and I did all of that,
Amy, interrumpirte un poquito aquí porque eso fue muy bien, porque yo me acuerdo cuando era bien jovencita, a mí me encanta, bueno, todavía me gusta cantar, pero yo quería ser cantante. Entonces yo también crecí en un hogar muy cristiano, con valores y todo eso. Y me acuerdo que papi me decía, ok, yo te apoyo a que tú quieras cantar, pero no me hables de bailar. No me hables de bailar, que tú nada más vas, si tú quieres cantar, yo te apoyo, pero nada de bailar. Entonces, tú sabes, a veces los papás, bueno, te estoy hablando de una generación, ya yo tengo 61, mucho antes que tú.
You 61.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Para la cosa es que yo me acuerdo porque había unas vedettes en mi país que era
Mhm.
Angelita Curiel y eran unas
Mhm.
bailarinas y papi decía, cantar está bien, pero bailar, olvídate de eso. Entonces, realmente yo no quería bailar, yo quería cantar. Pero, anyway, nada más quería decir ese poquito
Yeah.
porque tal vez bueno que no fue tan difícil para ti o hubo esa regla, pero para mí era terminantemente no baile.
But were there
Sí,
moments
para
growing
mí,
up where you felt like torn between following your dreams and meeting like family or culture expectations? Did you have those moments?
when I was younger, I was stubborn. You know, for me, I wanted to dance, and luckily, papi y mami nunca me dijeron que no. You know, they love to dance. So my parents danced in the house, everywhere, en la cocina, para todos lados estaban bailando. So they were a dancing couple. Like I remember them dancing in house parties. Like my dad danced all night long. And you know, he never was one that told me anything about my dancing because he would take me to my dance classes. You know, it wasn't until I got older and in my previous marriage that he told me, you need to stop dancing. You're going to lose your house. You're going to lose everything, you know? And to me, I never really like, again, it's old school. My dad's 85 now, you know? So I just, I let them be themselves. And I just knew that I kept myself to a point where, like I said, because they were so strict and they were Catholic, um, they always told me, like, don't embarrass us. Don't embarrass your family. Like, if you're going to be out, like, I'll never forget a conversation he had with my uncle because there's a nightclub in Maryland called Millennium. And during the time, back then, I was a sophomore in high school. I snuck into a nightclub and they were dancing, they were playing salsa and they had a contest and I won. I was a sophomore in high school with a fake ID. Okay. And then I got hired with La Mega back then. And so I was the, you know, in DC, they didn't have a lot of opportunities for like auditioning like New York. So I was the kid that was like creating opportunities like, oh, you know, oh yeah, you could put me in that show. Oh yeah, Boberia the show, pero, you know, with the radio station, I started working with them. And I mean, if my parents would have been there, oh my God, I would have been in big trouble. Pero I didn't do anything, but I won this contest. And then the promoter had me dancing in Millennium. When my uncle found out, because he had the grocery store next door, he called my dad and told him, oh, you don't know where your daughter's working, you know, blah, blah, blah. And my dad was like, I know what she's doing. And I'll never forget when he came and talked to me, he said, if you embarrass us, just know you will never dance again for the rest of your life. And I said, I know what I'm doing. I'm clicking people, metiéndome la tarima, imitating people. Y yo me arrancaba de Millennium las 40 minutos para la casa corriendo. And I would do it again the next week, you know. And that was how I paid my car insurance early. You know, there were just, I was really fortunate that my parents believed in me. And they didn't prejudge me about what I could do, you know. But I do go back to the fact that because I was raised the way I was raised, I did have a certain level of values. Like any child, you know, explore things, but I always in the back of my mind thought, you know, is this a sin? Am I, you know what I mean? Like I had that. So that's the reality, right? And I'm raising my babies like that.
Which is
That's
good,
great.
which is good.
Yeah.
And then dance has been such a core part of your life. And can you share how it became your form of maybe therapy or healing through any difficult times? You have an example that you want to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was 6 was the first time my mom had an episode, a psychiatric episode. I was like 6 years old and she sliced my dad on his back with a razor blade. And that was her first relapse into, you know, finding out that she was bipolar and she had this illness. So I witnessed it and not knowing subconsciously what I started doing was I would close myself in the room and I would dance. So I had no formal training. I was just a kid, you know, like I would just go in my room and we had like a dresser, you know, the dressers where the mirror is on top. So I would get on my bed and I would dance on my bed para verme. Pero eso sin clase, sin nada. That same concept or that same type of reaction is what I've had my whole life. So the same way I escaped so many things at home by going in my room, dancing, singing around, all of that because of all the stresses that were going on. As an adult, I'd done it. Like I used to tell my dancers for a long time, just stand in front of the mirror and dance. Like when you go home and you feel like shit, sorry guys, I don't know if this is my bad. If you go home and you don't feel good and you're having a bad day, get in front of your mirror, close the door, que nadie no importa quién te para allá, and dance in front of your mirror y desahógate. Because to me, since I was young, that's been my form of therapy. Now I get to do it, and I still do that, but I have to feel that, right? But now I do it with my students. So I do dance like a lot during the week. So they know if I go hard, I'm going through something. Like if I go extra hard, where they're like, what happened to her today? There's usually I can tell them like today was crazy at work. So to not think, I just dance more. You know what I mean? So yeah, dance is fully therapeutic. My company is called Cura. It started as El Amor because dance was just love all around for me my whole life. But I evolved it into Cura when I started getting men wanting to dance for the company. And Cura is that, it's cure. You know, it's a musical cure. And now within that dance community, they could tell you all the different ways that Cura means something different to them. You know, a lot of them are moms, professionals, wives, and they take that hour a week and we literally go in and nos curamos con la música. You know, it's really organic. It's literally a dance family. It's really nice.
I love the name. I love the name. The first thing I thought about when I saw the dance studio, the name, I was like, oh my gosh, mommy, like una curita. It's like a curita. Like we used to say, right now, que te voy a poner una curita. So like, I love that you incorporated your dancing with the therapy, just with everything. Like, I feel like, you know, the whole concept of just closing your door and just like letting loose. And I've seen your videos that some of your videos, I'm like, she must have been like, I don't know, either inspired by something or something must have gone, it's, you know, but you can see the emotion, the passion, like you dance, your smile. There's sometimes que tú como you just feel it. And I look at it, I'm like, goodness gracious, she's still like, I feel like even stronger. And I think it's because like as a mother, you go through like really hard times, right? You go through these like moments where you feel like you're by yourself and you can't relate to anyone. And it's just like nice that you have that form of therapy.
Yeah. Y la otra cosa, ya siendo más madura, porque los problemas cuando tú eres chiquita, uno, no importa en la edad, tú lo ves grande, pero ya después que tú vas pasando en la vida, tú sabes, por eso yo no me gusta si alguien está pasando por algo, decirle, oh, se te va a pasar, porque en ese momento tú no lo entiendes, tú estás pasando por eso y olvídate, es tu dolor, es lo que tú sientes. Pero a medida que van pasando los años, tú dices, por ejemplo, a mí me pasa y dices, oh my God, y yo pasé 5 días llorando por esto y no valía la pena. ¿Entiendes? A medida que van pasando los años, tú eres más madura y todo eso tú lo incorporas a tu rutina de baile, a las cosas que tú eres apasionada con eso, como es el baile, como es para mí, por ejemplo, cuidar a los niños, cantar. Todas esas cosas tú lo haces con más pasión, con más, los sentimientos fluyen más, ¿entiendes?
Yeah, no, for sure. I was always told I was really private. So as an artist, I was the one that people would say, oh, she must be a BI. Because of my demeanor, I love to observe. I like watching. If you tell me, I can watch people dance all day. And es como si yo estuviera bailando. Like I don't get to sweat, I get to watch. I enjoy it, watching people enjoy it. Now I have the times where I mean, obviously I have to enjoy dancing, right? So yeah, so I think so for a long time I was extremely private. Like I didn't start opening up more about like my personal life and things like that as an artist. It's like once I was at work, I'm at work, right? And then if I had a problem that day, I didn't go in teaching talking about it. Like I was extremely conservative and private. And a lot of people felt as if, you know, like when students would come in, oh, you're actually nice. And I'm like, yeah, I'm nice. I'm just quiet. I'm actually more of an introvert. If you had to ask me if I'm an introvert or an extrovert, people probably wouldn't say that because they see me dancing. I'm an introvert. Like I am very uncomfortable in certain situations. Dance has allowed me to open up, but I'm naturally an introvert.
I wouldn't pick that up from seeing you. I would think there's no way, right? There's no way. She's
no,
definitely
everybody.
Yeah. But
I'm a
now
super
talking to
introvert.
you, I can see it. I can see it
Yeah.
even like how you're like you know us, but I can still see a little bit of like shyness in you,
Oh
which is
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
girl.
funny. Yeah.
I'm not the type people try to put attention on me, and I'm like, ah, hide me,
Yeah, and I'm different. I'm like, good morning. I'm here.
Salió a mí, porque yo igualita,
girl. That's a
hola,
I
talent.
buenas
know.
todos.
So I'm being. She's not
Literally.
shy. Yeah, that's a Dominican, you guys. But yeah, I am an introvert. But yeah, so for a long time, people would tell me, "Oh, I'm so private," and I would tell them, "Well, if you want to know me, watch my routines." So if you like, I have shows as a soloist, and almost every show can tell you where I'm at developmentally as a woman. Like when the stages when I worked with certain artists, I utilized their music, but I picked a song that was like about heartbreak, or it was organically speaking, I can tell you every single song I've ever chosen for my company or for me dancing as an artist has been because of where it's resonating with me emotionally. So that's the reason I can express it. So
Yep.
if I'm happy, the routine is happy. If I'm like, oh no, this is like a certain type of way, I'm feeling grounded or I'm feeling like down, you're gonna hear me play some old school salsa and it's gonna be grounded. So almost all the routines, even there's one that's called Mujer Erótica. And that, talking about Catholicism, right? Or religion. That was an erotic piece where it was very sensual, sex, very, very sensual. And even exploring that outlet. I'll never forget when I was training, my guy one of my friends, Dennis, who choreographed that piece from Tampa. I remember in a rehearsal when it was late, he was like, Amy, there's something missing. And it's because I didn't emotionally connect to that because I feel like my sensuality comes from I don't know. Like I'm not the
Where'd it
type
come
that's just
from?
like, you know what I mean? To me, like my sensuality is just being organically who I am, right? Maybe my intelligence, I would like to say, is the more sexy part of me, right? But I'm not the type that secretes to me, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody would have a different opinion. To me, I don't think my sensuality is by how I look. You get what I mean? Like I like to think that what makes me the word sexy per se, which I don't ever use that word, but it's probably my intelligence. I would think that's probably where I feel like maybe. So in that piece, I was struggling. And I know he's like, Ali, dale un vaso de vino a esta muchacha porque ella no se suelta esta pieza. And I wasn't letting go because I didn't relate to the character that I was depicting because it wasn't my piece, right? It was nice to do it. I loved it when I finally mastered it because I was like, wow, feels cool. But you have to be a level of confidence, as a woman to do that. And that just is another example that I think what you're seeing in some of my pieces is because I organically choreographed it based off my life and what I'm going through. Whatever artist I'm working with, like I have a piece that's No Me Diga Que Muy Tarde, yeah. And it was when I had finally gotten really separated from my previous marriage. And it's a Ismael Miranda song. And at the time, I had gotten the opportunity to work with Ismael Miranda. And I'm a big helpless romantic. And I believe in love and I believe in all these things. And the song talks about No Me Diga Que Muy Tarde, yeah, pretty much like saying it's never too late to find love again and da da da. So I choreographed that piece over just having closure and re-finding myself as a woman, right? So there's different, like as much as I'm private, you can go to the pieces and that emotion is coming because I literally organically am probably feeling that etapa of my life.
That's beautiful. I have a plan. I will ask you this because I'm pretty sure everyone's trying to figure this out. How do you find the energy? Right? How do you find the energy after you run your daycare, after you hang out with the kids? Because I know I get home from work and I'm like, let's do our reading, let's do everything that we have to do. Let's by the time I put the kids to sleep, I'm like, ugh, I'm done. There is no gym. There is nothing else that I can. You'll be lucky if you see me doing some type of stretching. So, how do you find the energy and balance to make it all work?
It's mental for me.
Yeah. Like you need it. You need it. That's your therapy.
Yeah,
That's true.
you have to be mentally prepared for this. So I think mentally you have to make a decision. And usually if I make a decision for it, I'm a skeptic, right? So I'm not a risk taker. So I develop a mental decision to a certain point where I'm determined to follow through. And I never feel failure if I don't, but because I'm so determined, I think it comes from a mental decision. So right now, for example, for me to shed baby weight, I know I have to get in the gym. So that's on top of dancing because my body is already conditioned to dance. So I have to go to the gym also. So for me, for example, first I have to drink my coffee. So pass the cup. So I start with my coffee, right? I try to rest in those gaps, if I have to, take a nap or something, but I'm most of the time I think my body is tired, but my mind is telling me I have something else to do, so I don't allow that to get over me. You know what I mean? But
That's good. Yeah.
there's no right or wrong way to balance that. I think. Oh, there are tools that I do use though, like to actually accomplish this. I think that's the question, right?
Yeah.
I'm really big on schedules. So, um, like I said about laundry, that's an example. I think as a woman, we all deal with laundry, right? So I'm not the type that does laundry and just throws laundry to the side. If I'm doing laundry, I'm doing laundry all the way through. If I have wrinkled clothes, it's all in a basket. And one day I just binge watch TV and I'm ironing for 4 hours and everything's listo. That way, when I need it, it's grab, go, go. You know what I mean? That's an example. So it's scheduling. And, you know, the energy part, where's the energy? I guess nutrition. My body's conditioned to take on the load it has already. Obviously, I'm shedding baby weight. So that this is only my third week into the gym. Wholeheartedly, that was the gift I gave myself for Christmas. Again, mentally deciding that was that at 5:30 when I get off work, I run to a circuit. It's a 45-minute circuit. And then I come shower and I go teach at 8. But that hour is not just physical for me. That hour is getting out of the house, turning off the noise, and focusing an hour for myself mentally. So I do think in order to have a balance, you have to pick a certain 10% of your day that's just you. Like you have to turn everything off. Um, and the other thing I do when people sleep, there was an artist that once said it when I was young, and I'll never forget it. And I don't want to name him right now because he's a disgrace. But when I was in my teens, there was a celebrity that said, "When everybody's sleeping, I'm up." And it stuck with me. And I was probably like 17 when I don't know if he said it in a rap song or what, but I remember that. So yeah, the energy comes from coffee, mental decisions, scheduling, and seeing that there's a product that's, I get excited about what I'm doing. If I feel like there's hypocritical moments in what I'm doing, I don't do it. I stop. Um, I think right now too, I'm learning to scale back, like choose things that I feel like are really I'm gonna be able to finish all the way through. And then I also, when instead of sleeping, I work. So I'll maybe sleep 4 hours that day, and I put 2 hours into logistics, like billing and stuff like that. So that my energy comes from accomplishment. I think it's just knowing the product I'm going to get. At this point in my career at 40, everything I ever wanted to do, I can definitely 100% wholeheartedly say I've done it. And that it hasn't come from telling myself I'm tired. I don't tell myself I'm tired. I'm tired
That's
though.
yeah.
I'm
You're like,
tired.
yeah.
I'm tired.
No, it's
Last
good that
week,
you
I
said
told
that.
myself, you are tired. This is what tired is. You're tired. And
Yeah.
then
Take a
somebody told
second.
me, you're an overachiever. It's okay. And I was like,
Yeah.
but I had to say no and I had to accept that I'm tired.
What advice would you give moms who feel overwhelmed and worried that their dreams are out of reach? Like what advice can you give a mom like me, for for example? How do you feel like that you can like what advice, excuse me, not how do you, what is the advice that you want to give our viewers?
You know, there's a saying that people say in being true to yourself, right? These sayings to me, they don't come out of thin air, right? And first of all, I think your environment is really important. Your environment has to really support you as a person. Like that means in your privacy as well as professionally. So if I had to speak to other moms, which I have moms in my company who tell me a lot, like I wish you were my friend back then. I would have done things differently as a mom, right? Because they feel like I would have been, I guess, a sort of example o un apoyo, right? Porque lo estoy haciendo diferente, right? But I think if I had to tell those moms, whatever God is putting in you or inclining you to feel, listen to it, right? Um, People have done things a certain way and it works. And I can tell you my example and it worked for me. Like I definitely have a tone to me right now because of the really living in that exhaustion a little bit. But I never don't listen. I never ignore my feelings, like or what I'm hearing from myself. Like I also look at everything as an opportunity. So when if you're a mom and you feel like you had a dream, I have women who took a 20-year break before they decided to come back to dancing. And now they're in my semi-professional company and they're, 47, 48 years old. I have a woman who is 67 years old in my company and she goes twice a week to class. She's on every stage with my group. So if I had to tell you, now look, there's commercial dancers. That's one thing. And people for a long time tell me, oh, if you don't do it by 30, your shelf life is done. That's not true. That's period. You know, that's not true. That for certain things there are, right? But if I had to tell women though that are moms right now wholeheartedly, listen to yourself. Yes, it's good to take advice from people, but if you're conflicted internally about yourself, then you need to be honest with yourself because you live for you, right? Like I have a saying that I tell people, you weren't with me from the beginning, so it's kind of hard to show you who I am fully right now because it's been a process. But I know the reason I have gotten to where I've gotten in both of my careers has been because of the people I've encountered, right? And I've received the indications of guidance. And, you know, now I'm a mom. I never would have thought at 40 I'd be a mom. I didn't even know if I could get pregnant. You know what I mean? So I think it's the cues, listening, and also not limiting yourself. You know, there's a CD that J-Lo, we all know we love her as a Latina, that Limitless CD. It's for a reason. Like, you're limitless. Your body's limitless. Your mind is limitless. But do you believe that, right? So I think sometimes we have to really remind ourselves that there's a mold that people live and you can look at their example, but you have your own. We're individually here. So you can follow people's examples, but at the end of the day, there's something in you que tiene un propósito, right? Mi propósito es diferente que la de ustedes. So, tienes que estar abierta suficiente para escuchar tu propósito. And my purpose, wholeheartedly, is to teach people dance because I utilize dance in a healthy way. So, I would have never gotten to this point if I didn't listen and go through my process, right? So, as a mom, you can literally do anything. And I think when I was talking to Neville, I said it in a different way. You literally can do anything. Your kids can go on your backpack. You can take 2 diapers, a onesie, si explotan, te va para Walmart, you know.
I love that kids can go on your backpack. I'm like obsessed with that. That's gonna be like my new motto: kids in the backpack.
Yeah.
That's all.
If you see my son, like yesterday, I need to find an outfit because I'm gonna do a show in Jersey. And I took both of them with me, and he was a mess, like running debajo el dressing room. Yo aquí media, like trying to cover myself. And I'm like, go. You're gonna end up going out. I'm gonna have to correr atrás de ti. I'm not gonna not try this on really quick. Tried it on, fui a traer. I baited him with a toy. He came back, and I kept it going. You know what I mean? And then we went to leave. He wanted to keep walking. Ven atrás. You're gonna get left, and you're gonna learn by learning. You're gonna get left. What did he do? Stay with me, scream with me, drink milk with me. So is it easy? No. I mean, the hard part is I'm like, people are probably peacefully shopping. The other half is I'm having to look like a mom who's ignoring her kid. But I did it intentionally because to me, right, you got to keep it moving. Your mom's not going to stop my life because I already have to attend to his well-being all day, every day. But right now, mommy needs an outfit and you're going to have to come with me. So anyways, I just think be limitless, find adjusting time. And if I can be a voice of an example, I just have always tried to listen to what God is telling me and talking back about Catholicism, even when I was conflicted within the music industry. I have now found a really organic space where I can wholeheartedly still be Catholic, still be Christian. And everybody around me knows it. Like I use Christian music to teach in events. My performance that I'm doing in Jersey is a Christian routine. I pray with my company and have since the beginning, but now I really pray with my company. And company meaning my dancers. And, you know, they all know that I'm excited about my Sundays. I'm excited about God. You know, I'm very imperfect, so don't expect me to look perfect. But to the women out there, do your thing. You can literally do anything and just use people's examples. But at the end of the day, you got to kind of listen to yourself because God has a purpose for you. And that's the only person who knows that is the person, right?
That's beautiful. And thank you so much, Amy, for coming on, sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
and the bill,
definitely.
do this. This is awesome.
Yeah, I know. I was actually, we were at a coffee shop and we were like,
doing it with your mom. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I just
Esto es lindísimo lo que ustedes están haciendo. I wish I had my mom to do this, you know? So it's beautiful. Keep it, you know. I'm happy to be on here. I was watching you organically do your thing. You're a little genius brain.
I know. Thank you.
Tan linda, Amy. Una alegría verte de nuevo.
Yeah.
Que Dios te siga bendiciendo.
And thank you
Igualmente.
for reminding all of us that even when life is like so chaotic, to still find something meaningful. And I think that's very, like you said, organic. I love, that word. And for anyone looking to experience the magic of dance, please go visit her dance studio. I'm going to have the link available, Kura Dance Studio, because you won't be disappointed. So don't forget to subscribe. Join us for our next time for another meaningful conversation with the Blended
Absolutely.
Rose. And Amy, where's your coffee?
Cheers.
Cheers. Until next
Can we
time.
talk? Can we talk about this cup really quick? Since I like to
Yeah,
talk a
let me
lot.
talk
Does
about
everybody
what-
have the Bad Bunny album? So I'm Cuban, but we're celebrating Puerto Rico all month, all year, all the way till August to the end of his album. So this is El Viejo San Juan de Puerto Rico.
So are you
all the
like
music and the
every
salsa
day
behind
you
my
have a
work
different
is,
Puerto Rican cup?
what's that? I know, right?
Every-
No, I don't have that many. I'm Cuban. I have a lot of Cuban cups. But my music, my salsa, so to me, I chose the cup. I'm like, como buena salsera, tengo que darle crédito también a la isla. And Bad Bunny's putting us on a chart. So guys, get his album.
Yeah, we love promoting him low key, throwing a little promotion in there.
You don't need nobody's promotion, girl. Just
I
trying to
know,
like.
right?
I wish I was there. I wish I was there. You guys, they're literally have el festival de San Sebastián ahorita y las calles están y Bad Bunny metió ahí. That's crazy. It's crazy what it's doing for us as Hispanics, right? But anyway, I love you guys.
Yep.
Thank you for having
I
me.
love you too. Until next time, always spend time with the ones that you love and grab your cup of coffee. Love you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye, Amy. Have a great day.
Igual. Bye.